using the same exact group. That's pretty rare. You know, you get a lot of seniors who will graduate, some have injuries, you never really know. But having that, they might be able to use that to their advantage today.
So here we go for the men's 4x800 meter relay. Texas A&M entering the same group that won last year of Cooper Cawthra, Kamar Farquharson, Caden Norris, and Sam Whitmarsh, who was second in the NCAA Outdoor Championships a season ago. Oregon in this field as well. And Kodadoi Kadali, the anchor leg, who has got the best time in this field, the third place finisher at the Kenyan Olympic Trials a season ago, running 1:42.66. Oregon potentially, again with the anchor leg that could change this entire race. They just got to give them a chance, don't they, Serenity?
Absolutely, because right now it seems like Oregon, he's still trying to find his positioning, and it looks like Texas A&M dropped their baton, and he's looking to get right back into it, maybe just being bunched up in that. He got it knocked out of his hand, and you hate to see that for the Aggies.
So a significant development here for Texas A&M, dropping the baton, going back and getting it. The Aggies are way off the pace now, and that will take them out of this race. Still a lot of running left, but it would be a minor miracle if they are able to get back into this field, Serenity, considering the runners and the speed that we have at the back end of all of these races.
Absolutely, that's heartbreaking to see, but I love the tenacity from the Aggies. He picked it right back up, and he went right back to running. This is a 4x800, not a 4x4 or 4x1. He does have time, and I'm interested to see what they're able to do. But it seems like Oregon is finally coming back in that mix, but it's going to be all Michigan who hands off first.
So Oregon given a chance behind Michigan, Georgetown, and Penn State. Rounding out a very fast top four, Michigan with 1:49.52 there on the opening leg, as you see A&M just continuing to run as well, but at this point essentially running their own race, Serenity.
Yeah, absolutely. That, like I said, it was tough to see, but they were able to get right back in it. Hopefully, just get a mark down. You guys traveled all the way here. You have that tenacity and that resilience to pick it back up and still keep going.
So the Ducks out in front, Michigan in second. We mentioned that just surviving the carnage of passes is a challenge. Trinity, I'll tell you, for us distance runners, we're not used to having a baton in our hands. A different kind of race here for an event that you don't see at an NCAA championships, you don't see at a conference championships, but certainly one that prepares you well for the conference championship at NCAA season.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Maybe sometimes getting on those DMRs can help out with that just a little bit. But having a baton in your hand is a little bit different. But I kind of feel like batons give you superpowers. I do. I used to feel so much adrenaline when I would run the 4x4 compared to when I was just normally in a 400.
Well, I must have been running with the wrong batons then. Clemson with a big push to the outside. Brian Kauai, he'll hand off to Aubrey Lake. And the Tigers, once again, just like their women's 4x800 team, right in front. They're at 7:23 at the Texas relays. 145.7 for Kauai, bringing through the Tigers in the lead.
And you can see that handoff was really rough. Sometimes these athletes are not sure what to do when they hand it off, but the correct thing to do is just to stay exactly where you are. You want to get off the track as soon as you can, but sometimes that's not the best thing to do because of everything that's going on. It's a waterfall start, so as soon as they get the baton, all of the athletes are trying to head into lane one. So the best thing you can do is just to stay put. But Clemson, you gotta shout out the women because they went first. You have to possibly get some momentum from that. Being the boys, like turning back around and saying, okay, maybe this is our turn.
Olivier Demuel with the stick for Penn State, another team that if you put all four of their runners' personal best together, have run 7:06.63 as a 4x800 meter relay team. They will have the lead here going into one final lap of leg number 3. Meanwhile, Michigan still runs there alongside the Nittany Lions and Tigers. Oregon still within striking distance. as Kidali on the third leg for Oregon will start to move up alongside Zawell and the Nittany Lions.
And maybe that was the smartest move for Oregon, because look at him go. His stride is crazy long, as if he's a 400 runner. I'm sure he's gone down to the 600 sometimes as well. But he has one of those PRs where you want to look twice at it. Check for accuracy. 142 is insane, but this was a good leg to put him in, possibly to give Oregon some cushion.
Koninoe Kidali, the man who was third in the Kenyan trials a season ago, putting Oregon in pole position into the anchor leg at 5:24 unofficially. One leg to go and two more trips around the Franklin Field track. So it's Oregon followed by Georgetown. And it's still anybody's race with the kickers and the speed that we have left. Clemson with a baton drop themselves on that last exchange leaves Oregon and the rest of this front group out there with one less bit of competition. This is Matthew Erickson for the Oregon Ducks, the 2025 NCAA Indoor 800-meter champion.
It's unfortunate to see that Clemson dropped their baton as well. Just from our perspective of being up here in the stands, what I can see is that, like you said, these distance athletes are not used to holding a baton, and they are holding it right in the middle of the stick, and that's probably not the best way to try to give it off to your teammate, because they don't have much place to grab it at. It needs to be right there at the tip of it so that your teammate has all of the room, because you don't have time to think about where am I grabbing it and things like that. All you need to know is to just grab it and go.
Tenona Matassa of Georgetown running it second, right behind the NCAA indoor champion Matthew Erickson for the Ducks. Penn State still in the mix as well, with Michigan on the outside. But can the man who stood atop the podium indoors keep everyone else from grabbing their hands on that Penn Relays wheel? Four-way race, crowd on their feet. Here we go, the finish of the men's 4x800, with Erickson trying to hold on. The Ducks, the Hoyas, Georgetown and Matsatsa. Georgetown, final 20 meters, wins it. Tenona Matsatsa and the entire Georgetown crew of Gabrielle Angonio, Abel Tefron, Theo Woods, they win it.
What a race. And as you can see, the celebration is even bigger. Look at them being